Hello and welcome to the greenhouse. It's starting to rain, so good thing we've got the greenhouse and we're going to go in there right now. The greenhouse used to be in a different spot. It is now here. It is now protected a little bit. It used to be over there, but it is now in here, and here we go. So the greenhouse now is protected. It is sitting next to or under the canopy of the veranda, awning, whatever you want to call it, next to the house, because I can't remember, I'm going to assume you haven't seen this, you don't know. The greenhouse was sitting over in a section which I thought was going to get heaps of sun, it was going to be beautiful, it was going to be great. And then we got some wind, and the wind blew the greenhouse 10 meters. And it damaged things, it broke a few things. Luckily the greenhouse managed to stay in relatively good condition. And I managed, after a lot of humming and hawing, to get it all put back together and get it all into shape. And so it's now sitting here next to the house. I've just moved a couple of plants in here because it's starting to get cold. We're definitely in autumn now, there's no doubt about that. And so I've moved the coffee plant in here, which is doing well, but has had some unfortunate action going on the top there. This citrus, I'm not sure exactly what the citrus is another example of I leave plants too long. That's the problem. I just leave them too long. I don't put the care in consistently. And so that's doing well. The jasmine's just behind it and it is recovering quite nicely. So let me do a quick tour, if you want, for want of a better word, as to what's going on. I was just mowing the lawn, that's why I've got the earmuffs on, and was continuing to listen to podcasts. So actually I can take them off. So here we go, quick tour. So down here we have our pineapples that have been repotted. I got these pineapples when I was working a couple of years ago now in a bar, and we had pineapples and I took the tops off and took them home, dried them out, and they've grown a bit, but again, as I always seem to do in the garden, I've let things go, haven't maintained them enough, and so they haven't been doing well. And this summer they did not do well at all. So I'm hoping that a winter in the greenhouse will help them recover. So that's the pineapples. The coffee plant. The coffee plant has done fantastically over the summer, although not as much as I kind of wanted it to. I think I need to put a little bit more food into it. It has had the same issue that the two magnolia plants that I planted a while ago have had, which is birds, possums, something, not the dogs, but something is digging up the soil. So down here you can see the roots are a little bit too close to the soil, and it's all been dug, animals have been digging it up and stuff out there in the wild. So hopefully a little bit of a top up with some compost and mulch is going to bring that back. That's what I'm going to be doing in a second, or I say a second, but in an hour or two. Geraniums that I got from a gardening job ages ago that I don't actually care for. These are the ones that have survived, so they're going to stay up there and hopefully do okay. They've got heaps of grass weeds in them. They haven't got that much soil. Again, not really sure what I'm going to use them for, but they're in here so that they can have a bit of a better time than they had out there during winter. Down here in the back, I can't even remember what that's called, if I'm being honest with you. It's an indoor plant that, again, was not watered enough inside, so it's out here now. It'll probably go back inside soon. It's fantastic. It's just got a really nice leaf to it, so I'll probably take that back inside over winter. One of the thoughts and hopes that I've got for the greenhouse is that plants can come out here, get some recovery time, some humidity, some light, some all that kind of stuff, and then go back inside and I can have a rotation going. That's the thought. The jasmine in the back here looking fantastic. I don't know if we can see that. It'll flower too well. Where is it? There it is, I think. That jasmine looked like it was almost dead at one point. There was no leaves. It was just stumps. It was terrible. It has come back and flowered a few times in the last couple of months, and I am really pleased with it. I'm really loving that one. Over here, I can't remember what that one's called either. It's a type of fern. I think it's a kangaroo paw fern. That looks like cactus. It's almost practically dead. I don't care for it. It's a nice plant, but I just don't care about it, so it's whatever. This citrus is having a major recovery after some abuse and some neglect, as is with all my plants. It has just got so many fantastic new growth shoots on it. Citrus would be one of the plants that I would recommend to people if they wanted to start gardening, because you can leave it and ignore it and treat it poorly and then prune it and water it and it'll come back. It'll shoot from almost anywhere. And yeah, so citrus is something I'd recommend if you're new. Fiddle leaf, again, I'm just trying to get new growth on it and get it recovering. It needs some compost and some soil. I think we've got a new leaf coming out just there. Again, fiddles can be a little bit temperamental, I've found. And again, my style of sort of neglectful gardening doesn't work well for it. So it's out here to try and get some recovery time. As is the other fiddle, which has had the same kind of situation. It has had, it's been in the bathroom and has not had a great time. A lot of neglect again, as with all my plants. So hopefully, fingers crossed. The Akuba japonica, same thing. The gold dust plant is coming back. It doesn't look great at the moment, but it is coming back. The Monstera, I think that's a Monstera technically. I don't know if the size of Monstera. That's another one that I've sort of been neglecting, and I'm just sort of letting it do its thing over there. I think I might need to move it to the other side of the greenhouse to get a bit more sun. The peace lilies all recovering from neglect. Everything is pretty much recovering from neglect at the moment in here, which is it's so disappointing on my part, because I really enjoy plants, but then I just get lost and I don't think about them and I go do other stuff and they get neglected, and it's a real shame. One of the really cool things that I want to talk about in the greenhouse today is this bad boy. So I've got a dual car hot tap. There it is, gas tank or gas bottle, and this is my shower. I'm a hippie. I'm trying to be off-grid as much as possible. I'm one person. I don't think having an electric hot water constantly keeping water hot is the best way to go, because it's just a cost that I don't want. Obviously gas bottles are a cost as well, but the cool thing I love about having this out here is that I come out here and even on a cool day, the greenhouse is warmish. Then when I turn this on and have hot water going in here, it heats up almost like a sauna. It then means that I'm constantly looking and checking on my plants. It also means that I'm watering them with the cold water before it gets hot. And it also means that they all get a nice humid start to the day in here. Or as it'll be today, more of a lunchtime warmth. And I just love it. I love showering in here because it's warm, it's nice, all the plants, the oxygen's good, maybe it's better than inside, I don't know. And yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. I love it so much. And so that is a tour, a little what's going on here in the greenhouse. I've got a bunch of stuff set up that I want to start doing some seedlings and stuff over winter. We'll see what we can get going for summer. I don't know how long I'm going to be living here. I don't know how long I'm going to have the greenhouse. So part of me just wants to get all these plants really healthy and happy, and hopefully at some point I can sell them on. I want to put some herbs and stuff and actually use these tiny little cute ones that I've got. and mid-sized ones, and you can see how many pots I've broken as to how many saucers I've still got left over, because that's a shame. And I've got a bunch of cactus out in the outside still, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing with them. They're fantastic. They were all found on the side of the road. I don't really want to bring them in here because they're spiky, and they need to be on the ground because they're so tall, and I don't really have that much more ground space. But at the same time, I don't really want them to be outside, even though they do okay outside. So we'll see. That's another experiment that'll happen soon. But anyway, that is the end of the greenhouse. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll throw it back to me in the studio.